What if I just started the video like this? This lighting's not ideal, but we're gonna get ready. We have so much to get caught up on. Today's Wednesday, and I am in a fantastic mood. I've had such a good morning. I woke up and I usually do like a quick 10 minutes when I first get up of like stretching, kind of like mobility stuff, just to like wake up my body, whatever. At the end of the 10 minutes, I was like, huh, I'm feeling kind of good. Maybe we'll just like keep these good vibes going and do like a quick workout, like 20-30 minutes. An hour and a half later, we were just feeling it today. I am also in a very good mood. This is very orange, I'm aware. I went to Sephora to replace this because I was out of it, and I got the same exact shade that I had before. Fair, and it's like 3 shades darker than this same one with the same name. I don't know how you can tell. Do you see that? Same name. What was I saying? Oh, I think I'm done with this draft of Ruthless Ends. No big deal. It's at about 114K right now. Jessie, one of my critique partners, has the last, I want to say like 50 pages I just sent to her because that's all she hadn't read yet. I have added a new scene since I sent that to her. But so right now I'm just kind of waiting for her feedback on the ending. I also just wrapped up, I also sent her book back because I was giving her feedback on that, and then I also wrapped up the client that I was doing a manuscript evaluation for. So as far as Ruthless Ends goes, I do think I'm gonna add at least 1 or 2 more scenes to the end for that like resolution area. But other than that, I'm hoping that any like big new additions we are done with, and we are just down to maybe making a few more tweaks depending on Jessie's notes, but then we're jumping into the line edit. Finally. I was also just doing a giveaway on Instagram for 2 of the Marionettes jigsaw puzzles, and that just ended, and I just contacted the winners for that. And as of today, the Kickstarter has 2 weeks left. We have raised over $16,000. We are over 800% funded, which is nuts. I revealed a couple of stretch goals. I have upgraded the bookmarks that go with pretty much every order except for the digital only one, and except for the puzzle. If you only get the puzzle, you don't get all of the swag and stuff because the puzzle isn't shipping from me, it's shipping from the puzzle company, so that's the only reason why. But if you get the puzzle with other things, you'll get all of the stuff. They'll just come in 2 separate packages. Anyway, the bookmarks have been upgraded to now having gold foiling on them, which I think is really fun. And I also am commissioning a new piece of character art, which will be in the back of the Ruthless Ends hardcover, and then I'm also going to have prints of it made that go with every order. And this one is going to be of Valerie, Reed, and Cam. I'm so excited. It's a new artist. I've worked with a different artist every time I've done character art just because I like to see the different styles. So this one I am really excited. I just sent over like all of the info and stuff to her, so she's about to get started on it. I'm also supposed to get those bookmarks in the mail tomorrow, so maybe I'll show them to you in this vlog when I get them. I hope I have enough. I ordered 200 of them, and there's like 170 or so people backing the project so far, so like 30 more people can squeeze in there and I'll still be okay. Otherwise I'm gonna have to order some more. I also just got 2 new spray paints in the mail. So I got this like dark green and a gold, so I'm thinking we're gonna try this out on Bloodless Ties for the hardcovers, and then this is supposed to be for Ruthless Ends. Obviously I don't have any of those yet, but I think I'm gonna test it on another one of the books that I do have here just so I can see what it looks like. I've also recently started making updates to my website. I don't know if they're live yet. I've been kind of holding off publishing them, but I've been working on them. So if you saw my last couple of vlogs, I was talking about creating what I'm calling the imperfect book graveyard on my site, which is just going to be a different section of my shop where you can get signed books that are slightly misprinted, or I tried to do sprayed edges and they aren't meeting my standards for a discount. So I have been setting that up. I also just released volume 5 of my self-publishing 101 guides, which are a bind up of the Patreon exclusive self-publishing 101 videos. So that just went up. If you are a member of my Patreon, make sure you check out the page because I give you guys a free code to download it for free. And then I shared a code on Instagram too, but even if you're not on Instagram, if you use code IG15, that'll get you 15% off. Also, guides 1 through 4 are on sale. I think that's it. As far as like work updates go, I've been absolutely melting over here in Portland with this heat wave. It was 105 yesterday, and anything above 70 to me, honestly, I don't enjoy. But yeah, mainly my plans for the rest of today are to get started on some line edits with Ruthless Ends. I say that like it's the start of the day. I've actually been working quite a bit already. It's 1 o'clock. I've been like answering emails and stuff. And the way it's kind of worked out, a lot of the editing clients that I had coming up have had to cancel for personal reasons, for one reason or another. So I have a little more time right now than I had been anticipating, which honestly I'm not upset about. I feel like with a lot of my most recent book releases, I feel like I've been working like up to the wire. And so if I can get this thing done like a little bit in advance, honestly, I would feel really good about that. And I haven't started writing the bonus content for the hardcover for Ruthless Ends yet. So I do need to get started on that. First, I need to even figure out what it's going to be. I know there's going to be the art in the back, but seeing as this is the last book in the series, I feel like I want there to be like a good deal of bonus content in this hardcover. In book 1, that one had so much bonus content, so I kind of want to take a page out of that book. Maybe write a bonus scene. I don't know from which POV yet. I feel like I've done a lot of Reed point of view scenes. I don't know if that's something people still want or if people are kind of getting tired of it at this point. Like I've talked about a little bit, like I have these plans for a spin-off. So part of me kind of wants to do like some kind of teaser for that. But I also feel like that would be mean because it will be so far in the future. Like the earliest I would expect the first book in that spin-off series to come out would be like 2025. But I already know like which POV it's gonna be from and everything. So maybe just having the bonus scene in that character's POV to like get people to start getting excited about it. I don't know. I haven't decided. One of the beta readers that I had gave me a lot of good ideas of things that she would like to see for bonus content. So I'm gonna go back and look through everything that she said. But like book 1 had like annotated stuff in the back. There was like an annotated chapter from the published version. There was an annotated chapter from the rough draft. Maybe I'll do something like that. But I feel like that's more interesting like if you're also a writer. I don't know how interesting that is for you if you're a reader. Also, Ruthless Ends is the book I have had to rewrite the most of any book ever. So a lot of stuff has been cut, but not necessarily like a deleted scene that I could just throw in at the end. It's more of like an alternate version of the scenes that are still in the book. So maybe I'll like go back through old drafts and see if there's one that would be interesting enough to keep at the back so you can see like the way that the book used to be, because a lot of things have changed. I had to rewrite probably like 60% of this book, and it wasn't like I like scrapped everything that I had to rewrite and wrote something completely different. It was just like enough about the execution of something changed that I had to rewrite the whole thing, but quite a bit of it stayed the same. It was like maybe the context or the build up to a scene changed. So the reason why something was happening was changing, but the thing that was happening still happened. Does that make any sense? It's part of what's made this draft so complicated. I've been keeping an eye on like overall how many books am I gonna have to order when this Kickstarter is over. We are getting close to like 500 books right now. I was talking to my mom about it and I was like, it's just now like really starting to dawn on me that I am single-handedly going to be doing all of these orders. So thank you in advance if you backed the Kickstarter. For one, just for backing it, and for two, having patience with me as I get all of these things out as quickly as possible. But like you've seen in previous vlogs where Amazon really messes up the printing of the book sometimes, or I don't quite get the sprayed edges right, I'm not planning on sending out anything that I'm less than 100% happy with. So I kind of like that everything's going through my hands so I have more like quality control, but I do anticipate that probably slowing me down a little bit. I've been kind of like keeping my eye on all of the supplies and stuff I'm gonna have to get, but I've been kind of holding off until the campaign's over because it changes every day. Like new people back it, people cancel or change their pledges. It's like I get an email notification from Kickstarter all the time with updates to the project, and it's just like constantly changing. So I'm hesitant to like order anything until I know exact numbers of things, but I am gonna have to get like a shit ton of boxes and packing stuff, and you know, I like to do my tissue paper and all that kind of stuff, and I have plenty right now, but definitely not enough for 500 books. I actually have no idea what I'm doing with my eyeshadow right now. I also have quite a few videos I need to film. Honestly, we might do some of those today. I have all of the bonus content of Patreons on due. I have at least recorded the podcast, but I haven't edited it yet, but I'm excited. I actually was kind of going back and forth on what I wanted the Self-Pub 101 video to be over there this month. And I feel like so many of them lately have been numbers based, which I know a lot of people are interested in, but I also feel like too many in a row is a bit much. So I think I'm just gonna do something fun this month. I think we're gonna pull up Gracie's book and we will go through the first chapter and just kind of like edit it together, and maybe play some of the songs on the playlist and just kind of like chat about the book. I know I keep saying I don't have any plans after Ruthless Ends, but like now that I'm getting to the end of that book and I'm feeling less stressed about it, I feel like being able to relax has like made me start feeling more creative and more like excited to work on something else. Maybe because it's like 105 freaking degrees here and Gracie's book is a summer book. It's making me want to work on it. And I haven't read through that book in a while, and I'm hoping it's as good as I remember it to be. I remember it being really funny and it making me like laugh out loud. I think that's gonna be it. But also, I would love if you guys want to drop in the comments if you're someone who reads kind of like the genre that the Marionettes is, if you read kind of like fantasy romance or like dark fantasy, the best one that you've read, not even like recently, in the last 6 months, in the last year or something, because I purposefully haven't really been reading the genre while I work on this series, but I have so many books that I want to read, and I've been watching the ones that get like popular and stuff. And once I'm done with Ruthless Ends, I really want to jump in and like read a series that I haven't let myself read in the past, honestly, couple of years. So if you had to give me one recommendation, like this is the book not to be missed from the last few years, let me know. I know right now Fourth Wing is like all the rage, but if you've read my books, you know my taste. You know I like it dark and angsty and slow burn, and which do you think I would like? Help me. Okay, so I did end up filming the video for Patreon. I had so much fun. So I read the first chapter and a half of Gracie's book, and it's kind of a mix of like a playlist video, so I like played some of the playlist songs. It ended up being just over 22 minutes. Oh my god, angel numbers, look at all those twos. And I'm just waiting for it to upload to Patreon right now. If you're subscribed over there, I hope you like it. In addition to like reading it and playing some of the music, I just kind of like chat about the book, reflect on some stuff, and yeah, it's just a sneak peek of Gracie's book, a little bit of a deep dive. It was fun. It got me excited to work on the book for sure. After filming, editing that and everything, it's now almost 5 o'clock and I have not worked on my book at all. Productive procrastinating at its best, but this needed to be done too. I'm more of a night writer anyway, so maybe we'll like get cozy somewhere and I'll work on that. I've been watching Shadowhunters on Hulu because I never watched the show and it's so bad, but I keep watching it. I think it's like more of the nostalgic kind of reliving the books and like getting reminded of things that happened, even though the show's like not like totally accurate or anything, because I watched the movie on Netflix and then I was like, oh, I want more, like I want to get further into the storyline without actually having to reread the book. So I was like, maybe I'll try the show. I never watched the show. The acting is so bad and no two characters and no one has any chemistry. None of the relationships, no chemistry. It's horrible. But I already watched all of season 1, so my point is we might get set up on the couch, put that on in the background, and try to knock out like a chapter or 2 of line edits for Ruthless Ends tonight. Or not, we might just work on this puzzle, I don't know. Did I show you an update of how she's doing today? This is where we're at. I'm a mess, babe, why can't you see? No hope in what's left of me. I had to tell you. Happy Thursday. So I did not in fact end up doing any of the line editing yesterday, but we now have this little chart created, 1 circle per chapter. We're gonna fill it in as we get going. I keep checking the tracking info for my bookmarks. They're supposed to be here today, any second now. Not like it really matters if I get them right now, but I'm curious to see them in person. So yeah, I have my coffee. We're gonna get set up and I'm just gonna dive straight in. I think I really want to try to do this line edit in order from beginning to end, which is not how I usually do line edits. Usually I'll like kind of skip around, but I have not read this book from beginning to end now that I've made all of the changes. So I think it'll be helpful to be able to read it chronologically and have a better idea of some big picture stuff too as I read, if anything jumps out to me as being kind of off. The first several chapters, I want to say like first 10, I kind of have already line edited, so I think they'll be pretty clean. I think they'll be fast for me to get through. We'll start compiling like a crutch phrase and crutch word list as I go and things start to jump out at me. Would highly recommend if you're someone who likes to-do lists and like crossing things off, because it's satisfying to do something like this to help keep you motivated through an edit. I've done these for every one of my books. Here's the Bookless Ties one, Wicked Souls, all the way back to the Marionettes. And I do have my old crutch words lists, and I'm sure some of the same words will end up being a problem, so I might refer back to those, but we're just gonna start chapter 1. Maybe I'll do some math to figure out, I need to double check when my new date is to send this to my proofreader. 45-ish chapters, so I definitely want to be doing more than one a day. I also think I'm going to add at least one more chapter at some point, so we definitely have like a decent workload to get through, but it's not overwhelming anymore. It's not like unmanageable. This new deadline was definitely the right call.
I had to tell you before I fall asleep, sitting there on the edge, babe, not knowing which way to lean. And stay in tune. Tired of the lies, they're all like me, tripping all over you, babe, tripping all over me, tripping all over you, babe, tripping all